everyone, Sabrina here from Scrappy Tales Crafts, and today I'm creating a slimline pop-up box card using these different Lawn Fawn stamp sets. I also pulled in a couple die sets, including my own slimline pop-up box die set that I came out with in October. So if you want to pause the video to see exactly what I used, you definitely can, but I will also have all of the products that I used linked down below. So this year Lawn Fawn expanded their little bear images, and I decided to pair them with a stamp set from last year called Berry Holidays. So I have a whole bunch of bears for this card. I think I have 7. And you can see that I stamped out each image multiple times onto some Bristol cardstock with VersaFine ink that I clear heat embossed. And that is because I created this card 50 times for a client for Christmas cards this year. So I thought I would go ahead and show you the card that I created for her because it is super cute. And whenever I'm mass producing cards, I always go for my zigs. Not only do they color faster than Copics, but it's a lot more inexpensive. I actually colored, I guess if you multiplied 50 by 8 images, that's around 400 images. And obviously you're going to be using a lot of Copic refills to color that many images. Whereas with zigs, I'm only using a very small amount, and most of the pigment is being moved by my water brush. So the zig markers are very pigmented. You don't need a lot of color to color in an image. In fact, you saw with that igloo, I just added color to those lines that intersect the igloo. And then I just pulled the pigment away from those lines with my with my water brush. By the way, the water brush that I'm using is a Stella pen that I refilled with water and added gold perfect pearls to it, and it creates the exact same effect that the traditional Stella pen gives you. So here you can see I have some brown bears or some dark gray bears. I won't be using them in today's card, but I will have another card showcasing these bears in another video coming up. But here you can see I did go for polar bears with this specific card, and I only used a light gray marker in my water brush for these bears. So they were pretty quick to color. I mean, they're probably the easiest thing to color and reproduce 400 times. So I was pretty happy about that. And they're just really cute. So I will give these guys some pink cheeks, but I'm going to go ahead and finish up. For one of my bears, I'm going to give him a scarf. So I just went with purple. And whenever I am mass producing, I just go with one marker. You got to do things pretty fast because you're on a deadline. You know, I will have a whole video about mass producing cards that is much more in depth, but whenever I am mass producing for a client, I usually have to do it within a week. So I go with just one zig marker and my water brush, and that gives me just enough dimension. And typically my customers will order pop-up cards, so I focus most of the time towards making the pop-up box scene perfect, and the coloring doesn't matter quite as much as it would if it's the only thing on a flat card, if that makes sense. So here I have my slimline pop-up box die set. I went ahead and cut the base twice from heavyweight white cardstock, and then I cut all of the panels that are included in the die from some snowflake pattern paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. So again, when I'm mass producing cards, I go to either Hobby Lobby or Michael's and I buy their single sheet 12 by 12 pattern paper. And normally I would be able to find enough paper to create the cards that I need with it. Sometimes I have to go to 2 Hobby Lobbies if they don't have enough of the pattern paper that I need, but for these little bears, I was able to find this really cute snowflake paper, and what's great about it is it's like that copy paper thinness, so I was able to double cut this paper, and it saved me a lot of time. And I just went with this pattern paper for the entire box. You can see I'm flipping the panels around and adding some more pattern paper to the top panels. And that is because when you fold the flaps down, you're going to see this portion on top of the box. So I only decorate the entire front of the panel, and then on the back of the panel I just dress up those two top flaps. It's not really necessary to dress up the bottom flaps on the back of the box just because you're not going to see it when the box is folded together. So here you can see my two panels. I'm going to remove the double-sided tape on the tabs that I added the tape to. I added the tape to the side that is completely covered with pattern paper. And then the way I attach this box together is I take one tab and attach it to the end of the other panel that does not have the tab. And then the other side with the tab I attach to the side without the tab, connecting the two pieces together. And then for the bridges, I'm using the same very strong double-sided tape. This is by Uline. It's industrial strength tape, and my customers have reached out to me saying that my boxes have held together for years, and it's only because I am using this very strong tape. It's basically, the whole box is being held together with two strips of tape. So I definitely want to use something very strong. And same thing with these bridges that I'm attaching inside the box, because these are what hold your elements inside your pop-up box. And these bridges do come in the die set. I cut two of them out and added them inside my box. You can add however many that you want, but I like two because I do utilize the front of the box and the back of the box, and I'll show you what I mean in just a few minutes as I assemble the scene. But here I have some snowbanks, and I created these with my Everyday Border Slimline die set. Now I didn't include this die set in the beginning of the video because it has sold out, and I do plan on restocking it for my next release. By the time I was filming this, they were still available. But you can use any hill die in your stash. You can even cut your own hills. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and start assembling the box. I added the two Slimline hillsides to the bridges. And then I have my igloo. I have an ice skating rink, which I white heat embossed on blue glitter cardstock. This was from a Hero Arts stamp set, and it's not available, so I did not link that stamp set either. So for some of my bears, I thought it would be cute to give them some little hats to dress them up. And this hat is another Lawn Fawn die that I showed at the beginning of the video. For this bear, I gave him a cute little pink mug. I'm just adding the whites to his hat now, and then you're going to see that I'm going to rearrange this card several times. This was actually the sample that I was going to send to my client. So I am trying to figure out where all of these different bears are going to go. So you're going to see me moving a lot of things. Here you can see I moved this bear that's ice skating over to the right so that I could add this cute little bear that's ice fishing. And then I'll add the little ice fish bucket between the two bears. And then I wanted to have a couple bears building a snowman. So I decided to move my larger bear that's holding the coffee cup over to the left near those three skating bears. And then I thought it would be cute to add the sleeping bear on top of the igloo, so he will be staying there. I thought that was adorable. All right, and here is my snowman. I'm going to glue him to the back row, and then I have these two smaller bears that I will have sitting next to the snowman as if they're kind of building him. And then I had one last bear. Now, usually when I am creating these boxes, I try to glue down the larger elements first and then fill in the scene with the smaller images. So I kind of struggled because I had one larger bear left that I really wanted to use, but he just wasn't fitting into the scene because he was so large and he was covering the two smaller bears building the snowman in the back row. So you're going to see I'm going to remove the snowman and the two bears and add some 3-in-1 glue behind them, because at this point I thought I was committed to this layout and I was going to have that larger bear in the front of the box. So here you can see I don't even glue him onto the snowbank on the first bridge. I'm going to glue him directly to the front of the box with my art glitter glue. I only added, not art glitter glue, sorry, 3-in-1 glue. I only added glue to the lower half of him because you can only see the top half. I did give him a purple scarf. Now for the 50 cards that I ended up creating for my client, I changed up the color of the scarf because as you can see, the two bears both have purple outfits on and they're side by side. So I think for the other 50 cards that I created, I went with a blue scarf instead of the purple for that larger bear. So I'm going to give one more bear a hat, and then I embellished this card with a couple glittery snowflakes that I cut from turquoise, pink, and purple cardstock. These snowflakes come in a honeybee die set, and they're awesome because you get, I think, like 16 snowflakes in one die set. I actually did not even pull them apart. Every time I use the die, I just cut a whole bunch of snowflakes to use on my projects. And because there's 16 on a set, that means that I can cut out a whole bunch of snowflakes and it saves me a lot of time. So here you can see I rearranged this scene. I decided to add the two bears building a snowman directly to the front of the card and then that larger bear to the back. And I just felt like it looked more balanced. You saw more of the larger bear this way. And here I'm just showing you how the box folds flat. I did make sure that I did not exceed that point at the very back of the box because otherwise it will not fit in an envelope, but I did show you guys that it fit very nicely into a number 10 standard size envelope. That is going to complete today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you haven't yet already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.